Hi everybody, and welcome back to yet another workbench video. And today we're looking at this VanWide VEA, a 12-ton van number 230489 from Bachmann. If you look there, you can see the rail freight distribution livery. That puts this van clearly in the early 1990s condition. However, they were around a long time before that. And the reason I've got this is it was an extremely kind gift from one of my subscribers called Neil, that I helped with some wheels that he needed, and very unexpectedly he sent me this. Having seen my rail freight videos, he thought it would look good there with me, so I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, Neil, it's brilliant. And I thought we'd do a video having a look at this because it is quite exceptional. Now then, hands up who noticed all the underframe detail when you saw it running with the Dock Authority shunter by Triang just now. Probably not many, but the underframe detail is incredible. Before we do look at that, you can see here the handbrake. That's that lever. So the vans had handbrakes, and even the pin raft is been cleverly modelled. So you've heard of pinning down the brakes. What they would do, the brake's off like this, and to apply the brake you would push that lever down, and then over the top of it you would push in a pin in this bar here, and it would trap the lever down, and that was pinning down, and you could choose how hard you applied it. The further down you went, the more firmly the brake was applied. It took some effort to do, I can tell you, I've done plenty. But this was not only handbraked like some of the older vans. You can see clearly here that it has air brakes and main res. Not vacuum brake, again, like the more common vans. Let's turn it over and have a closer look at what's going on. Okay, I've zoomed in as close as I possibly can. Now you've seen I've fitted the pipes, yellow for main res and red for brake pipe. And you can see just here we've got a main res air tank. And then down here, that's the brake application cylinder, and there. And so when you applied the brake in the cab, or if the brake pipe was broken, if the case of a train brake array, these would apply these brakes. And you can see we've got 2 per wheel, or 4 per axle. So we've got 8 brakes in all. And you can see there's a brake pad there and there, there and there and there. Now I've also got this pulling gear that I fitted, and also, can you see here, probably this one's the easiest to see, just here, or safety straps that were called, and that was just to keep all the brake rigging in place. So I had quite a job fitting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and the same on that side, but it does add to it. So you've got incredible detail underneath, which you probably don't see. That's the only problem. Now this is a marvellous model by Bachmann, catalogue 38882, described to BR VEA VanWide in BR Rail Freight Distribution Sector livery. British Rail built a large number of VanWide wagons in response to a high demand from various customers. They featured plywood sides with flush doors that slid to alleviate the problem of confined locations. The door opening method made the door aperture about 9 foot, which aided in loading of pallets from forklift trucks, and it was that opening that gave it the name of VanWide. From 1977, 550 VanWides were converted to VEA vans, as we see here. They were refurbished and fitted with air brakes to suit customers who could not handle the longer wheelbases of modern wagon designs. Now we saw some of those in my rail freight videos. These were used on the Speedlink trains as well as military specials. Now, when I was at Woking, we had a train that ran from Woking Yard to Ludgershall, which is an army depot, and that did indeed use these vans. Most of these wagons were withdrawn in the early 1990s, but some survived a little longer for internal use at army bases, and a number have also been preserved. So they were actually built originally from 1961 to 62, but then converted to VEAs from 1977. And their stated use was palletised freight and munitions. But it's absolutely incredible the detail that we have got. And I hope the camera is going to do justice to this. You can see here where the handbrake linked in and operated the brake rigging. I wonder if we can get a really good close-up of that ratchet system for the handbrake. There we go. I'm in as close as the camera will allow me, and I can barely see this with the naked eye, but can you see there on the arm there's holes? And what you would have done is you would have pushed this down, sometimes using a brake stick, which is literally a large piece of wood that you put between there and the underside of the van to push it down, and then with the other hand you would push in the pin to trap the brake handle on, and that's how you applied the brake. Now, when you hear in steam days of pinning down trains before they went down inclines, that's what the firemen and guard used to do. They used to go back and pin down a certain number of their wagons so that their brakes would work as they ran down the incline, and then the train wouldn't run away. So just having a look now at the pipes that I fitted. There's the main reservoir, and there's the brake pipe, yellow and red, and that would couple to the corresponding pipes on the loco wall the next wagon along. Now, what I wanted to do was compare the brakes on this air-braked two-pipe van with one of the more conventional vacuum-braked vans, and that was the white van that you saw coming in with the little shunter a moment ago. Alright, so here we are. There's the vacuum cylinder for the brakes to be applied, and that worked on that rod, which in turn pulled these brakes onto the wheels. And as you notice, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 brakes, whereas this van has the 8 clasp brakes. They call them clasp because they clasp on the wheels. But this, which was what they had, was just the 4 brake blocks. Again, you've got the handbrake, which was applied in the same method, and that didn't really change. You can see we've got the bar again, and in fact you can hear that it's actually serrated, and the handle will be pushed down. So that very much stayed the same throughout all time. But you can see the incredible complexity that Bachmann have now. This is a Bachmann van as well, but you can see the complexity that they've put in here. And it's absolutely adorable, it's fantastic. But really, can you see that? I'm going to have a lot of derailments and vans laying on their side in order to make the most of it. But it is quite incredible what they've done there. They've made a fairly plain vehicle, I suppose, quite complex. But it wouldn't be right unless we looked further at the details on the outside of the van that might be clearer for us to see. So here we can see that slides for the doors to open, so they would slide back within the width of the van, opening up that 9-foot recess for loading, making them extremely useful. And we've got the handles correctly showing as well. I'm quite sure what the little Fox logo is. Perhaps someone can tell us what that's about. We've got the fine handrails down here, look. And nice logo, and then data plate. What a lovely, lovely vehicle, and so gratefully received. It'll go in on my next modern image video, which will happen in due course. Anyway, I hope that's been of interest to you. Let's put it back up on the track with the shunter and run it off to the depot.